Welcome, everyone. Today is the 20th of December, and this is the Shrewsbury Public Library Board of Trustees meeting. Our first item of on the agenda is to review and act to approve the minutes of our last meeting, which was November 22nd.
Motion to approve.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Purnima. Next item is to review and act to approve the director's activities of November of '22.
What is the Shrewsbury Way Academy?
Oh, that is the leadership program that the town is offering. It's for all the department heads.
Okay.
And it's a virtual workshop.
That November 2nd meeting is the Friends of the Library. Right? One word got dropped out of that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Friends of the board meeting.
Which one?
The second line,
Thank you.
the Friends of the
for
Board.
catching.
Oh, yeah. I read that, didn't even
Where are
see
those
it.
guys? I don't see them.
Now, the Human Library on November 5, was that
Yeah.
the same thing we were talking about at the
Yeah,
last
I think
meeting?
we spoke about it at the
Okay.
last meeting.
That wasn't a
Yes.
different one, right?
No, it is the same, yeah.
And you're, at least in a preliminary way, planning another for 2023?
Pardon?
Another Human Library?
We might.
You're thinking about it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. As I told you, I would have to apply again.
Right,
and,
right, it's not trivial, is it?
process, yeah.
Okay. Need a motion to approve?
Do.
I second it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to programs and services, director's report of programs and services that were offered.
It was busy.
Yeah.
Lots of programs offered by the youth services.
Mm.
What is the teddy bear clinic?
Oh, this was done by a nurse. She, teaching. She taught kids how to take care of their teddy bear. So they had to bring their teddy bear, and she was just showing them how to use Band-Aids.
Oh,
and
nice.
So I guess
That's very
to-
cute.
To help them get over their fear of all that.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I love it.
It was the same day as the Human Library, I think, and we saw so many people come with their teddy bears going to the children's room.
Did you get any report back about the little kid creative drama? Did many people show up? But that just sounded like so much fun for kids who like to.
I'm not exactly sure how many showed up, but
Yeah.
it is a very popular program.
Is it?
It's
Okay.
been offered a few times. Yeah.
What was Stealing Rembrandt?
Oh,
Am I reading it correctly?
yeah. Yes, it is about heists that have taken place
Oh, okay.
in different museums
Oh,
and
okay.
stuff, and it's focusing on Rembrandt paintings apparently. Yeah, it was a talk given by this person. I don't
Oh, I
remember.
missed that. It was like a couple of years.
Yeah, I heard it was very good.
Priya, do you have a sense of how many teams are active in the team advisory meeting? Is that just kind of a come if you can, or are they elected?
No, it's a
position?
regular group that
Okay.
comes. I think there are about 15 kids
Wow.
that attend that. It's once a month on Monday nights when Annie Lee is here. And they discuss what kinds of displays should go up. They plan that. They give suggestions for new books. And
good.
what kind of programs should be offered and all that. She said it's a very active, engaged group.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
That's great.
Very good.
Priya, I'm just curious about the non-library groups that
Mhm.
used meeting rooms.
Yeah.
Were any of those, did any of those groups pay, a use fee?
If
For-
it's a nonprofit groups based in Shrewsbury do not have to pay.
Okay.
And of course, other town departments would not have to pay. If it's a for-profit
Then yes,
group,
then they pay.
they can only use the room once a year.
Okay,
And if it's a nonprofit based somewhere else and not necessarily serving Shrewsbury residents, then they would have to pay a $50 fee.
okay.
So the neighborhood meeting for the Subaru of New England,
Yes,
what room did they use? They use?
they used this room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And they would have paid?
They would pay,
Yeah,
yeah.
got it, okay.
Yes.
So with the Walnut Hill Condo Association, oh no, that's here, so,
Yeah, we don't usually
Yeah.
ask them to
yeah,
pay.
because that's a Shrewsbury thing. Okay.
Yes.
Does this require a motion?
I don't think so.
No, okay.
So the select board also met here, huh?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Maybe they're going to different facilities.
Right. Yeah, this was, I think they called it workshops that they were having.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, any other comments or observations? Okay. All right, next on the agenda is financial and legislative review and act upon year-to-date report.
The library materials, we're almost hitting the 50% mark, which is good because we are halfway through the fiscal year.
Right, so that's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Are there any areas of concern here, Priya,
No.
that you?
Okay.
No?
I don't think so.
Do you plan any more away training, conferences, travel? I see we're kind of up to the brim on those two. I don't know if there's anything you planned on for the next 6 months?
Oh, I'll have to look into this. Because Mike's training was paid for by the town, so I'm not sure.
Right.
He had gone to, where had he
He went to more than one, didn't he?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, but that was paid. I'll look into this. I'm sorry I didn't see this. Thanks for catching that, Jeff. I will. Yeah, I thought it was entirely paid by the town.
I thought I read that somewhere.
Yeah, the last time we.
Yeah.
So that would be
Well-
an item to be reimbursed to the library then? Is that what you're saying?
I'm going to
Or
clarify.
wondering about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. So So we need a motion for,
Motion to approve the year-to-date budget report.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
And we also need to review and act to approve the FY '24 budget.
Yes. Yes, I hope you had time to look at that because I sent it late last night. I was working on it.
Okay, now I gotta find where that is. I have it on my computer and I read it.
Oh,
but
okay.
This is.
Yeah, I had shared it as.
You don't want, I'm not very good at this.
This is,
I'll get it.
the one thing that struck me was the new position that you want to
Yes.
create. Do you want to talk about that a little
Sure,
bit?
sure. So I've been thinking about this and how, how the assistant director is the head of the adult services, oversees the work of all the adult services librarians. They also have to be, focus on all the programming, creation of programs, the coordination, marketing and promotion, everything to do with that. And as you know, we've been offering more and more programs. We are applying for grants. So I thought if we have a full-time dedicated position as programming and marketing librarian or community services librarian, we'll call it one of those two names. And that person is responsible for planning and coordinating all the programs and do the marketing. Then the assistant director has time to focus on bigger, grant-related programs and stuff like that, right? Applying for grants, managing grants.
Right.
And of course, overseeing the programs, but not the nitty-gritty of planning every program.
Right.
So that's the reason I'm requesting this position.
Priya, the other libraries have a similar
They do.
position?
They do. Yeah, more and more libraries you see this position as community services librarian or outreach and marketing or programming and marketing, that kind of thing.
How would that impact, say, the children's department, who do a lot of their own program planning and?
They do, but
Yeah.
our youth services department is about 5 or 6 librarians, so they are sharing that responsibility.
But would
right?
this new position take over that?
No. No, this would
Be
be
just
entirely adult
adult.
programming. Yeah.
Do you think it needs to be a full-time position?
It would be great if we
Yeah.
could get a full-time
Yeah,
position.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, the other adult services librarians, like the reference librarians, are helping out with promotions a lot. But again, that is also, the responsibility for promotions nowadays is so much more.
It's so much more
Yeah.
with social media.
Social
and-
media,
yeah.
the electronic email lists. So we're constantly, marketing and promoting stuff, the digital display, physical flyers,
Right,
etc.
Right.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to have a dedicated person for that.
And I also think when you look at like how many people are using the library, how many things we are doing that's beyond what we all think of as traditional, this speaks to, we are in a different world. And, just the amount of technology, but the amount of on-service that has to go through the website and things like that, to be able to have someone, and applying for grants, that takes up a lot
Right,
of time.
exactly.
And if there's someone who's skilled in it, who comes in, it saves time for everybody, including, they'll be aware of grants for children. That's the kind of person that can be on top
Sure.
of things,
Yes.
rather than asking you, or
Right.
his name's gone out of my head.
Mike.
Frank, to do it.
Yeah.
Would this position require a degree in library sciences?
I mean, we would, I think, say MLI is
Right.
preferred.
Yeah.
Graduate degree preferred, but it could be a
Right.
a person without a master's degree in library science.
Maybe someone
also
that's
could do it.
more tuned into technology in terms of of promoting and marketing,
Sure,
that
yeah.
kind of thing, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, event planning and
Yep.
marketing.
Would you consider anybody without a library experience, but who has marketing experience?
Again, I think a library experience, at least 2 or 3 years, would be preferable
Mhm.
to know exactly how you do it in libraries, right? Public libraries.
Trying to see how we can widen the pool of applicants.
Sure. Yeah, we could look at.
Because we're always having a hard time getting applicants here.
Right.
And is the salary?
This is grade 5.
Oh, that's right, you have to go through, I forgot.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
And do
the
you think that's,
the minimum salary in that
oh,
range.
that's the minimum, okay.
Minimum in grade 5. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Because, you don't want to lose someone who's good, but what can you do?
Yeah.
And increasing hours of technical service, just 2 hours? I mean, I'm just wondering.
Yeah, so there is a one position right now, Charlotte Budge works in technical services. She's working, her position is 17 hours. So if it is 19 hours, it would become a
benefited position.
A benefited
Oh, I
position.
see.
That
Yeah.
is the
Okay.
aim of this.
It's
Make
19 to
this
be
a
benefits
benefit.
now.
Pardon?
It's 19 for benefits?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Benefits is not healthcare.
Yeah.
It's just vacation
Yeah.
and
Right.
sick time. and
Okay.
thing.
So she's, right, currently that position is she just works at one position. She doesn't overlap in another.
She
position.
does she works with the technical services
Yeah.
department, cataloging and processing of materials, but she's also been helping with the memory cafe. So her hours were 14 hours
Wow.
when the pandemic started, and we had to change the way we did our memory cafe and stuff. I had requested that her hours be increased to
Yeah.
17,
Yeah.
and so she helps out with the memory cafe.
Right, okay.
Yeah, the rest of it is the same.
And when will they be asking for this preliminary?
In
Okay.
January,
Pretty
we'll
soon.
have a meeting with Kevin,
Okay.
and we submit this proposal by January 6th. I have to submit this.
Okay, so before our next meeting.
Before our next
Okay.
meeting, yes.
Okay.
Of course, then the finance committee meeting will be in March. And
Sure.
annual town meeting in May. But our first meeting with Kevin will be in January.
And you've included the teen aides that we
Yes.
asked for increase, so that's great. This
Yeah.
would be part of the budget rather than
Exactly,
asking.
right, yes.
Great.
Yeah, and Jane Siebels, we had, we are using state aid now to pay her. We hired her a little after the fiscal year had started. So we want to include that in the
Right.
operating budget.
All set?
Mhm.
Okay, so I think we need to act to approve that.
Okay. Motion to approve the preliminary 24 budget.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is facility, equipment, and grounds.
Nothing, I think no new updates. I don't know if I mentioned it last time, we were having problems with the main door. After it's locked, we lock the library and we leave, and then people have been able to open the door. It happened once. At that time, they said it was the handicapped button that was leading to that. I think I mentioned on Veterans Day, someone had come in and they've gone up and they started using the computer.
Oh.
because they were able to get in. And then we had that issue again, so Public Buildings has been taking a look at it. I hope it's fixed. We are a little
Yeah,
nervous
me too.
now
You
because
don't wanna be
it keeps
surprised.
happening. Yes, it happened the day of the Yuletide market. In the morning, we had the holiday open house and the Yuletide market. People had parked here, and I guess they thought the library was open, but they shouldn't have been able to open the
Right.
door.
Yeah.
So
Huh.
that happened.
If you
on
can
that
open the
day
door,
too.
you assume the building's open.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even though the
Sure.
lights aren't on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And nobody's here.
And was that the outer door or the inner door?
Outer door.
Outer door.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so it's happened a few times
Mm.
now.
How about the lights going down that stairway to the lower parking lot?
That is still not fixed. They apparently don't know where the controls are
Yeah.
for those lights, which is very strange.
There has to be somebody that was shown how to do all that.
I know.
Right, one would think.
Yeah, one would think they could just like contact the original electrician or whomever
Yeah.
mapped it
Yeah.
out.
I should think there'd be a diagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they said they were looking into.
Yeah, okay, but haven't been able
But
to
still
come
not,
up with that.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important.
I
especially
do
during the
too,
winter.
because
I know.
it's dangerous.
Oh,
I know
especially
now,
in the
and
winter.
then when we
Right.
have snow and ice
Yeah.
and all that, it'll
Yeah.
be even more
Yeah,
Mm.
dangerous.
yeah.
How about the temperature issue, the hot, cold within?
That seems to be fixed now,
Fixed.
yeah.
All these little things that start to
I
happen.
know,
Right.
I know.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Oh, dear. Okay.
yeah, you'd wish for the good old days when you just had a thermostat in each room and you could change the temperature. Now it's all controlled by.
And you had a light switch that's labeled.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Tells you what it's for, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I went down the stairs, I'm no electrician, I can barely turn on a light. But, I mean, I was even looking, well, where could they have put those controls to it?
Right, yeah.
It's got to be in the building somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would think they'd be automatic lights,
Yeah.
you know, as soon as it
Yes.
became dusk, they
Right.
came on.
Right,
Right,
right.
that would be
Yeah.
ideal.
It probably is, and someone just
Yeah.
has to figure out
How to,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
fuse is gone or something.
something.
Because I would think, you know, everything's on the computer now. You know, all those controls. I would
Right,
think that.
right.
Yeah,
But if it's not labeled or,
yeah.
Right.
It can be hard to find.
Okay, well, hopefully somebody will get to that and figure it out. All right, moving on to gifts and grants.
Nothing new.
No, that's too bad. All right, moving on to personnel.
Personnel, I just wanted to mention that Christina Zarobi, who's been the coordinator of our English Conversation Circle and the Memory Cafe for the past few years, has said that she would not be continuing in 2023 because of personal.
Oh, boy.
So it's really sad.
Mm.
We will
Yeah.
miss her. She's done a tremendous job, and especially when the pandemic started and we had to pivot and make
Right.
everything virtual, she took on a lot of responsibility and did an amazing job with that. So we are looking for at least a facilitator of the English Conversation Circle now.
Right.
And then we'll see if they are able to coordinate the whole program. So Mike is in charge of the English Conversation Circle and the Memory Cafe. He oversees that, but it would definitely be helpful to have a person like her. We have posted the position. We sent out an email listserv describing what we're looking for. We'll see.
So is she leaving like as of January 1st?
As of January 1st.
Oh, boy. So it wasn't a big
The Memory
notification.
Cafe, we are going to continue. I mean, she's given the contact information of various performers, etc., to Mike, and he will have to reach out and schedule that. And I told you Charlotte's helping out the actual day of the program, so we'll be able to do that. And the English Conversation Circle, we do have 3 sessions that are running with different facilitators. On Fridays at St. Anne's, there's a different person who facilitates that program, so that will continue. Saturdays on Zoom, we have Tony, who's been teaching for over 10 years. He will continue. And we have an in-person class on Wednesday mornings that's run by volunteers. That will continue. So it's just one of the sessions that Christina was doing on Tuesday afternoons. She was teaching on Zoom. And she was also sending out newsletters, e-newsletters, and posting on Instagram and stuff. That might not happen for the time being, but at least if we could get someone to volunteer to teach one session a week, that would be nice. So that's what we're looking for right now.
So that's a volunteer position.
I mean, I'm calling it a volunteer. We do pay a stipend.
Right.
Yeah.
And is that stipend, well, typically it was paid out of grant funds.
Right. Last year, the
Yeah,
board
that
had
changed.
approved the state aid.
Yes.
State aid funds. And fortunately, we got donations for the Memory Cafe part of it, so
Right.
that helps.
That's a loss.
Yes, yeah, she did an amazing job, and we'll really miss her.
The other thing about personnel, if I could just maybe add this in now, in our calendar, it's now time to revisit the whole director evaluation assessment. So I do have the forms here, and maybe each one of you could take one and then perhaps get them back to me by, what do you think, Nancy? Because we have to meet again. Oh, thanks. We have to meet with you prior to, well.
I think you met with us. We had our meeting, remember?
Yeah, but I think we need to meet again.
Okay.
Oh, I could be wrong. No, in January, we need to, the personnel subcommittee meets with the director to review forms and discuss evaluation.
Sure.
And then in February, thank you, we do the open session.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was also wondering if people had input in terms of the staff evaluation form that we developed. Maybe we could pass that out after the holidays sometime in January.
Yeah.
I can do that perhaps, just put them in envelopes and give them to the 4 managers and ask them to get back to me. So I guess by mid-month, if you could get them back to me, that would be great.
Mid-January.
January.
Okay.
And
The
then,
evaluation form, this evaluation?
Yeah.
Mid-January?
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
The staff could even do it electronically.
That would be great.
Right? You could just send an email.
Oh, that would be great. Is it a fillable form? I think it's
Yeah, they can
PDF
do
right now,
that.
isn't it?
Do you have a mailbox here?
Oh.
Okay.
Just put them in an envelope with my name on it. That's what we did last year, and I
Okay.
was able to collect them.
All right, because if I don't do it soon, if I don't do it right away, I forget.
Okay, January 15th is a Sunday, so maybe by that date, that would be great.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, last year, I think we put a envelope with your name on it behind
That's
the
right, we
circulation
did.
desk, and
Yeah.
we all just
Yeah.
added them to
Yeah.
the envelope.
That would be great. That would be great. Okay.
And all of you got my self-evaluation.
Yes.
Yes. So you've already done that, thank you. All right. Anything else under personnel?
Well, I don't know if this is under technically personnel, but I'm just been thinking about the Friday afternoons, monitoring the kids after school. And if you think, Priya, that it would be a good idea to have, a trustee present from, 3 to 5, something like that?
It would be wonderful.
Yeah.
To have someone, as you know, Mark Adler was used to volunteer at
Right.
that time, and he no longer does. it would be great to have an adult presence in addition to the staff, of course.
Is that the right timing, like 3 to 5?
like
Yes,
3:30.
3:30. It's more like
3:30.
3:30 to 4:45.
Okay, so maybe we should just pass around a sign up, email a sign up
Yeah,
for.
that's a good
Sure.
idea. I was here, not last Friday, but
Right.
the Friday before that.
Right.
And
I haven't-
the kids were okay.
I haven't come since the spring, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would be a good idea.
Okay.
yeah.
Because I think among the board, we could certainly,
That would be
cover
great.
once every,
Oh,
Maybe-
sure.
2
maybe we
months or
could mention
something,
it to
right?
the friends too, if anybody
yes.
wants to be involved in that way.
Yeah.
And it's really just steering kids to
Right,
this
absolutely.
section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also takes a bit of a burden off staff, because they can do what they need to do and not be
Right.
chasing
Yeah.
people down the hall or what.
Yeah. Yeah, and we do have structured programs also scheduled for them, which some of the teens participate in.
Right.
So that is going on. It's just a handful of kids that
Right.
I
Are
guess
challenging.
that are
And,
challenging.
and
yes.
our YA librarian will be out
She'll
soon.
be on maternity leave.
Very
yes.
soon.
That's a
Very
really
soon.
good point.
Yes.
Because we'll have I know that we have somebody covering for her, but boy,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
a lot to ask.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this, I get Friday this week, would that be the?
This week, I don't think.
They have Friday
They
off.
have Friday.
Oh, they're off
Mhm.
Friday, okay.
Okay. And
This
the
week and
following
next week will be fine, because next week is
School vacation.
vacation week, yeah.
So it
Okay.
wouldn't be until that first week in
Yes.
January.
Yes.
Okay.
And one of the things that just came to mind is, do we want to let people know if it's a storm on a Friday that they shouldn't be coming? In other words, how do I put it? If it's snowing and the school's dismissed or it's just regular time,
Right.
that know that the teen rooms won't be available, because my thought is they shouldn't be walking up here in the snow,
Yeah.
number one. And number two, parents are gonna have a hard time getting here. So that's asking staff to stay
Mm-hmm.
when they should be going home,
Mhm.
Not necessarily that the library's gonna dismiss early, but any Friday that there's an early dismissal due to, any Friday there's an early dismissal due to inclement weather
Mhm.
or staff development, that the team is not available. Because I just think it's asking for trouble.
Yeah, one would think they wouldn't walk in inclement weather. They do come when even if it's cold, but
Oh, yeah, cold they'll come.
not when it's.
Cold in their shorts they'll come. But I just think I think it's too dangerous then.
I'm just not sure how we
And that-
communicate.
I know how
that.
we communicate that, I mean,
We could
that's,
shoot this through the school. I'm wondering if you could send something to Joe Sawyer that says, that the Board of Trustees have decided or have thought for the safety of the children that this would be happening. And then when he sends something out that there's an early dismissal, he can add on it. Don't forget, the library won't be available. Because that's
Well,
already pre-recorded.
it would only be Fridays, and so
Yeah.
I wonder what are the chances that that would happen on a
We can
Friday?
probably wait and see. My thought is Murphy's Law. But
Personally, I don't see that as necessary, but that's
I'm
just my opinion.
I'm a little worried that people will show up anyway, kids will show up anyway, and if the youth services area is closed,
Well, that's
it's
true.
going to make things more complicated.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
I also think maybe it sends the wrong message, maybe, I don't know. That we're not welcoming, maybe?
I don't look
know.
at it as not welcoming, I look at it as a safety issue.
Yeah.
If you watch the way they walk up here on a Friday, because I've been in the center of town,
Mhm.
they're on the street. So, but maybe we do let them in, but then they have to call someone to come and get them. Because, and maybe we never have a snowstorm, so I could be just blowing in the wind, but I do worry about that.
Yeah.
Do they come on the half-days, the professional?
Early release days, yes.
So there's a heavy presence of teens.
Yeah.
So we
Yes.
need those dates too, if
Oh,
we're
actually,
gonna.
this week, Thursday will be like Friday, I think. Because
Oh.
Thursday is, they have Friday off, but
Can you
Thursday.
remind us what our policy is regarding unattended children in the library? I know it breaks down by age, but the
Age.
middle school age, how?
I think we
Is
say
it
that
2
they can be
hours?
here for 2 hours.
Okay, so certainly an early release day,
Yes,
they should only be here unattended for 2 hours.
that is right. Yes.
But who's gonna check them in? Oh, you came in at 1:45, that means you have to leave
Well, but
by
I
3.
think, like, if they dismiss at what, 11:45? So by 2:30, 3 o'clock, that should be giving them enough time. You know, because if they get here at 12:30, because you've got a good point. Someone will come scooting in at 2 o'clock and say, oh, I can stay to 4 because I just came now.
Mhm.
Well, maybe another way to approach this is just, again, contact Joe Sawyer and ask him to put a reminder in about
Yeah.
the use of the library and that 2 hours is a maximum time, and we would urge students perhaps to refrain from coming on, snowy days or something
Oh,
like
that's
that.
probably a good idea, yeah.
A general
We could
type
send
of
a
thing.
communication
Yeah,
like we did
something like-
last year.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Yeah,
school
yeah.
principals
Yeah,
and the
yeah, just
superintendent.
Because it's really just the middle school.
It's just those Sherwood and,
Oak.
Oak. Yeah. Okay. So maybe Priya, you and I can draft something like
Sure.
that.
I mean, I never minded. I would always stay till the last kid left because I lived so close to school.
Mhm.
But there were nights when it was 6 o'clock, and I worried about the kids and
In the dark,
it's,
yeah.
and their parents,
Winter time.
If you don't hear from their parents, are they in an accident or, the kids are outside throwing snowballs, having a day.
I know. We want kids to have fun, but safely.
How often have we had, an example of children being left here later and somebody has had to stay here?
Occasionally it does
Yeah.
happen. Yeah, we'll stay for about 15 minutes after. If it's beyond that, then we do call the police.
And if they know their parents aren't coming, they'll walk away from the library and they'll be like in the center of town or somewhere else. They know enough not to stay here.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Right.
Okay, well, we can, thanks, Joan, for bringing
I
that
mean,
up. We can.
it's minor, but at the
No,
same time.
but just kind of review.
On all and I say, all you need is a kid who didn't get, when parents came, he or she wasn't here. And
Mm.
I worry about that with them because they don't have
Yeah.
this good common sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else under personnel? Next is the foundation.
The foundation is actually tomorrow working on an annual appeal letter. We've cleaned up the list from last year, and so I actually haven't seen it, so I don't know how many. I think about 400 at this point. These are direct mailings to people who have given in the past. So we're working on that tomorrow. So trying to get it out quickly before the year end for anyone that wants to, have it as a tax deductible before the end of the year. So that's what's happening with the foundation.
And what makes it count towards this year? Has to be postmarked the 31st?
I guess, yeah. And which is easy to do if you do it, online with PayPal now. That's you get an immediate confirmation.
So that's an option, is through PayPal.
Yeah.
We don't have to put it through the.
That's
USB.
right, that's
Okay,
right.
good to
Yes.
know.
And Priya has generously offered to send out thank you letters, which would also confirm the amount that was given, so
Yeah.
thank you, Priya, for that.
Sure.
That's all.
Okay.
But you don't only have to do it through PayPal.
No, you can write a
Write a
check,
check,
you could,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Next is Friends of the Library.
I, nothing new, just the bookstore is doing well, and it's an ongoing sale that people can avail of, and
And they've already expanded the day, like 6 days a week, is it now? I think
is
it's
6
Monday
days
to
a week,
Saturday.
yeah. Monday
Oh,
to
that's
And it's,
Saturday.
what are the hours? I can't remember. Is it
It's 10 to 12.
10 to 12
And
and
3 to
then
5.
And
3 to 5? Yeah.
Yeah.
Any idea of when the new shelving might arrive?
Oh, I have to check, because they had, when I ordered it, they
Yeah.
had said because of various problems, it's delayed and stuff, but I will
That would
send
be
them a
nice to
reminder.
have that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, thank you.
Yeah, I urge people to go and check it out. You can get
Oh, I
some
just
good
visited it like a
deals.
week ago, it's great.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. People enjoy it.
Right, right.
Okay, policies. There's a few that we need to go through.
Yes.
Looks like you had a policy meeting.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, the adult services team actually, because they are handling this,
Yeah.
right? They're dealing with people using the group study rooms or the quiet room. So it's just a few changes, a few edits in each of them.
Which one do you want to tackle first?
Shrewsbury Public Library Internet Access and Safety Policy.
Okay.
It's very long-winded right now, the title, Internet Access, Wi-Fi Service and Safety. We think we'll just change the title to Internet Access and Safety Policy. That would include the Wi-Fi too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was some outdated things there, saying that there were 15-minute express stations available. We no longer have those. And just a little bit of the language, in some instances, active voice to passive voice or stuff like that.
Just curious, what is, I'm sure there's a perfectly logical reason. How come somebody who does not have a library card needs to show a photo ID to be able to access the computer?
Oh, the public computers, we do need some kind of ID.
Okay,
So if they have a library card, of course, they themselves
fine.
can go.
Mhm.
But if
Yeah,
they don't have a
otherwise,
card-
we do ask for an ID.
a photo.
Photo ID,
Okay.
yes. And then we put in their last name as, instead of the library card number.
I see, I see,
Yes.
okay. Does that happen often, that people come with?
A lot of
It does,
times,
yeah.
yes, yes.
That's interesting, that they come to use the library and they don't have a library
Oh,
card.
many times.
Well, they could be from out of town, they
Oh,
might be
from out of
visiting.
state or
They-
something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, CW Mars is this area of town, right? This area of Mass,
Central and Western.
Central and
Mass.
Western Mass.
okay?
Okay, do we have to do these one by one?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
please. So public internet access and safety policy.
I move to approve the public library internet access Wi-Fi service and safety policy.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Group study room use policy.
Okay.
So there was one statement that says rooms will be held for only 15 minutes past the scheduled start time.
Mm-hmm.
But the next statement says bookings will be canceled if patrons do not check in within 30 minutes. What does that really mean? Is it like future?
Yeah.
Or are you referring to the same instance?
It is the same. I mean, we keep it till for 15 minutes past the time that they have booked, because somebody else might come and ask
So
to
then
use this.
you cancel it at 15 minutes or 30? You made it at 30 minutes.
That's a good question.
What are you saying?
I'm not seeing that. Where is that?
Which page is that now?
Oh, here it is, and on the second page?
It's on the top of the
Yeah.
page.
Oh, second page.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rooms will be held only 15 minutes past the schedule. Bookings will be cancelled if patrons do not check in within 30 minutes of the scheduled start time.
Maybe we just
Yeah.
keep it consistent 15 or 30 minutes. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
It's confusing the way it's.
It
written
is,
down.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should make it 15.
All right.
And again, it's a 2-hour time slot?
Yes,
Right.
and which can be extended for 2
Right.
more hours.
If nobody
if
else
no
is-
one else is.
Okay.
And if someone comes and the person didn't show up who had booked the room, and you're able to give them the room, can they extend the next 2 hours if it's
If
not?
there is no one else waiting for it, yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
And is that highlighted, that yellow highlight, just because it's to reiterate no food allowed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and some of it is just, the order is switched, or it's above instead of in this bullet.
Non-alcoholic covered beverages are allowed. I would make sure they're non-alcoholic.
Yeah, I know. May I smell your drink, please?
That's coffee.
No.
Oh, dear.
Kids in high school have been known to put gin and vodka in a water bottle.
Right.
Oh, dear.
But anyway, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Once we realize that they were up
There
to
you
something
go.
like that.
Yeah, wouldn't take too long to
No,
start becoming obvious, huh?
But I make a motion to approve this with the correction on the second page to say, do not check in within 30 minutes, 15 minutes, so that it
yeah.
Is the same.
Second
Consistency.
it.
Yeah.
I do now, after I read it again, I do understand what they're saying, but I think it's more clear to just say
Mm.
15.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. Is there a second?
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye. They did a good job of,
Yeah,
Moving it forward.
sometimes it's also the language,
Yeah.
for clarity,
yeah.
it's better to phrase it one way. Quiet room policy.
In general, Priya, is the quiet rooms policy being followed? I mean, is that?
Yes,
It is. So
definitely.
you're not getting complaints that
No.
this is just to make,
No.
tidy things up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Is it used a lot?
It is. It is. There's always 4 or 5 people at least
Oh, good.
sitting in the various tables there.
So the two highlighted lines aren't new, right? just
The,
being?
Just
that's-
being reiterated.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
not an addition.
not an addition, yeah. The red is the addition.
So is Quiet Reading Room the official name for that room?
Yes.
I see it got added on the last line, right?
Yes, yes.
Should we put it in the title also?
Instead of just quiet room.
Right, if we're gonna call it the Quiet Reading Room every place else.
That's a good point. Do we have a sign that says it's the quiet reading
It
room?
does, and it
I
does
just
have a
stop and
sign that
think.
says
It's
quiet.
just a big sign that says
Big
quiet
sign
over the
says
door.
quiet,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it should be just
Stop and
quiet
think.
room.
Quiet
Don't have,
room.
it doesn't have to be reading.
That's right.
Quiet
Right.
room. yeah.
Right.
Okay,
So I'll take that read.
As long as
okay.
you're not sleeping.
Right.
So we'll strike reading?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll do that.
So on the first line, it's been designated as there's another reading, that we can strike the first bullet.
The large reading room.
Yeah.
The first bullet point.
Yeah.
And then
Has
the-
been designated as the quiet room.
So,
Yeah.
It's the quiet room.
that's good.
Yeah.
And then the last bullet point.
Yeah.
Strike reading.
Strike
okay.
reading.
Strike the word
So now
reading.
it's consistent.
Yes.
So with those two noted corrections, motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Tabletop games circulation policy. So the fine balance is below 10 has been taken out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah,
Mm.
the games are returned at the circulation department, so
Mhm.
that change.
I move to approve the tabletop games circulation policy.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do you have problems with the games being damaged?
Not really, not the
Okay.
tabletop games. I mean, we do have to count the pieces when
Yeah.
they're returned.
Mhm.
Sometimes some pieces might be missing. We call the patron, and if they find it and return it, it's just add it back. Sometimes if it's a negligible piece and it's not really required, we would just
Yeah.
put it back. Yeah, there's no damage, not really any
Okay,
damage.
that's good.
Yeah, and we have lots of tabletop games.
Where are they located?
Up in the cabinet near the reference desk. Yeah, and some are on display there too.
For a second, just so that people know where to look.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what do we have left?
Wi-Fi hotspot blending policy. What was the change here? Yeah, hotspots are limited to one use per household. This was, we just emphasizing what it means, and because we've had
Right.
members of our household,
Yeah.
returning and wanting to check it out again. So all patrons in a household must wait 30 days after the previous hotspot was returned before anyone in the household is eligible to check out another. Yeah, and we've
And how do you
had,
check that?
pardon?
How do you check that, through your library cards?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and we've had a few problems with the hotspots not being returned,
Hmm.
for months. So we've had to suspend the service so that,
Sure.
yeah.
So in those situations, does staff try to reach out to?
Oh, yes, yeah.
So suspending service, is that something you can do remotely to the
Yes.
hotspot itself? Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
So that, and it's an individual hotspot that you
just
can.
that hotspot,
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
I
That
never
makes
thought
sense.
about that, Jeff. That's a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is suspended remotely,
Mhm.
yeah.
And then do they return it?
We've had one missing, not returned for a long time.
But sounds like that's an exception.
That is an exception,
yeah.
but
That's good.
but we have to make that and, include that in the policy.
Sure.
In general, are they all checked out all the time?
Usually, most of them are checked
Yeah.
out, yes. We have about 15 now.
Oh,
We
good.
That's
added a few more,
that's-
yeah.
Yep.
But you can purchase a hotspot, is that correct? For your own house?
Sure.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
phone can be a
Your phone
hotspot.
can be a hotspot.
Oh.
Yep.
Is there a limited range that they can be, do they have to be used in this geographical area, or if somebody traveled,
No,
could they take it with
They can
them?
take it with them,
Yeah, they can travel, yeah.
Oh, really?
This is probably
Yeah.
why many people use them,
Yeah.
is when
Absolutely,
they're traveling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
Not
sense.
sure about international travel, but maybe you can,
Yeah.
but definitely all of
That
US.
makes
Depends on the
sense.
service plan you have on
Right.
that, right?
Yeah,
But that, you can see why people would rent them then.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Traveling somewhere you've got.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I think
I-
that is all.
I say that we approve the Wi-Fi hotspot lending policy.
I second it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay, miscellaneous. We need to you're gonna update us on the strategic planning process.
Yes, the community survey is out, and we posted it on social media a number of times. It sent out email listservs, and of course, the print copies are available at the library. We've received about 750 responses,
Oh,
which is
good.
remarkable, which is
Yeah.
very good. We've extended the time. It was supposed to end today, the 20th, but we've extended it up to the end of this week, up to the 25th. So hoping we'll get a few more responses.
Good.
And then Barbara and I will work on analyzing the responses. And the next step is focus groups. There are 3 focus groups in January 10th, 17th, and the 28th. And again, Barbara and I will be leading those focus groups. There'll be 10 people in each group, and again, we got a lot of interest. When we received the responses to the survey, people had expressed interest in being part of the focus group, so.
And those are via
Yeah.
Zoom, right?
That will be
Yeah.
via Zoom, yes. And there's going to be a teen focus group on January 22nd.
Great.
Which will be with our teen advisory group. And
Good.
Jane will be facilitating that group interview.
Well, that's great that they're
Good.
being included.
Yes. Yeah, so that's the next step.
When is the planning process completed? And we're just,
I think it would be around May.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. And let's see, the last item on our agenda is to review and to act to approve the land acknowledgement statement, which you sent to us
Yes.
as well. Just gotta find it.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have to look for that. For the meeting.
That wasn't in the packet.
It was
No,
a
it wasn't
separate,
a
it
separate-
was
I
separate,
remember looking
I'm just
at it,
looking
but I
for
didn't-
it.
Separately,
I
yeah.
shared it as a
It's a separate email. too.
Yeah.
Google Doc.
Google Docs, yeah.
I'll go back to my email.
Thank you. I didn't print that one out.
I usually bring them all up to my desktop.
Joan.
No, there's no
Oh,
one.
thank you.
Yeah, our reference librarian just did a lot of work on this. Reached out to a number of groups, looked at other websites.
I think my only concern is that to be read aloud at the beginning of all programs strikes me as maybe a kind of overkill,
Yeah.
particularly if someone comes to more than one program.
Mhm.
You come here to learn to play ukulele, and the next week you're here to organize your closet and
I agree, I think,
hear about our people's moral failings.
yeah.
Well, as I said last meeting, I find this to be a very powerful statement. My only concern is that I think before we actually use it, even if we do vote in favor of this tonight, that before we put it in any action plan, that we communicate with the town manager, because they might be doing something similar, and I'd rather not have it
Mhm.
discordant from what we're
Right.
saying.
Good
And
point.
honestly, just to give them the courtesy of knowing that we're doing this.
Yeah.
That this is
Mhm.
even under consideration at this point. Yeah.
Yes, I will communicate with the assistant town manager, Kristen Lass, and then, yeah, we'll see what they say.
Should this be tabled to the next meeting? Before
Till
we
hear
approve
from
it?
the town manager? Or till we hear from? I mean, I
don't
like
know.
the sentence, we wish to honor and pay respect
Yes.
to the Nipmuc, and I think that's very important.
Mhm.
But I think to read something every time you have something
I
happening.
agree. I
And
think
then,
it's,
but putting it on the website and things like that are
Mhm.
fine. But I think reading it every time there's a meeting, I think there may be people who object, and I mean, I'm not saying that I agree with that, but
Mm.
there may be people who.
Well, yeah.
and also have a nice,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
sign
Mhm.
Yeah,
hung, you know, that's very visible when you
In
enter
the
the
meeting, in the
building.
meeting room, maybe.
Yeah,
I think the most important two parts are the last two on the second page.
Yeah. I agree, Jeff.
Yes.
I mean, that really puts meaning behind it.
Yes, yes, the most meaningful actions.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
it does.
And even to find an indigenous consultant for recommendations on collection development, I think is
Yeah.
also important.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like Jeff pointed out, I think reading aloud at the beginning of programs is not very practical
No.
with every program.
Mm.
But we
No,
could
I mean,
have a
if you came
site.
to learn how to print silk scarves,
Yeah.
that may be,
Yeah.
Yeah. May not be in the mood to hear about genocide. When you get here.
Well, I don't think our intent is to preach, you know, and I think it kind
That's
of
a
might
good
be
point.
heard in that way.
Right.
But again, I do support the power of this statement, and we
Mhm.
can use it in other, or the potential power of this statement, we can use it in other ways.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree too.
yeah.
So how do you want to deal with this then? Do you want, 3 members of our board aren't here tonight to vote. We can still vote, or
Well-
do you want to table it until our January meeting when Priya has a chance to speak with town management?
I think
I
that
think
makes
it's
sense.
better that way, to
Okay.
hear back from the town.
Okay.
I do too, and we've already more or less decided that
Yes.
we want to change something in here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be my suggestion.
I think it's too soon to vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe we can put this on the agenda for next month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have other libraries done this type of thing, do you know?
I think so.
I think so, but I'm not sure exactly which libraries.
Yeah.
I can do some research and find out.
So thank
Because
you.
we have discussed it at many of the
Mm-hmm.
meetings.
Thank you for her
Yes,
efforts with
she's
this.
done
I mean,
an amazing job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, it inspired me to do a little of my own research on this, and I think that's perhaps one of the intents of this,
Sure,
isn't it?
yes.
So,
Yeah.
very good. All right. Anything else, Priya, or any other members of the board have anything to bring
I
up?
don't think I have anything else.
Just that it was fun for the breakfast on Friday.
It was,
Yeah.
it was fun. It
Yeah.
was good. It was a good time. We need to do that more often. We have to think of our next gratitude experience.
When is Library Day? When is that in the spring?
It's in April.
April,
Okay.
yeah.
Then,
So,
yeah.
and I think one time we did something
The
around.
Friends usually do the
The
boutonniere-
Friends do,
the
okay,
boutonniere
yeah,
okay.
okay.
stuff,
Okay.
yeah.
That's what I was
Okay.
remembering.
In
Okay.
April we can
The
do
weather
a-
will also be better at that time. It'd be good, maybe even if the weather is good, maybe an outdoor.
Sure.
Yeah. Shake it up a bit.
But they enjoy, I mean, when do they get to sit and talk
I
to
know,
each other?
exactly.
So
Yeah.
it was nice to see.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And Deb, thank you for organizing
Oh,
all
well,
this.
Yes.
oh, it was easy. You have a great group to organize with. So thank you.
Full participation, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
right.
true, it was.
All right, so our next meeting is January 24th.
Yes.
And we'll have the evals in by then, and
Yep.
Nancy, April and I will hopefully meet with Priya before our next meeting too, or maybe a little after that. We'll see.
Sure.
'Cause-
Yep.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Is that what you're looking for?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.